Colin, one of the things that I think we've been diving into is the reason of like, not only is this happening, but why is this important? And I think about, if capital formation, keeping capital in the United States, but also is most of the manufacturing, the technology innovation actually American companies and entrepreneurs and businesses that are actually creating the technology that's driving this? Or is this stuff that we're importing from Taiwan or from the Middle East? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah. Let's talk about oil and gas specifically. I think people that aren't familiar with industry, all they ever hear about is big oil, and it's like, what is big oil? Well, that's going to be Exxon, Chevron, BP, but I don't think people understand that the oil and gas industry, there's thousands of companies. I mean, there's thousands of oil and gas producers, thousands of oil field services, and then that just goes downstream to people that make valves and different parts. And so the oil and gas industry, the only foreign component of that is probably the pipe, steel tubing coming in from places like China. But I mean, the oil and gas industry is, very much a pure American effort. Now, when you look at the renewables, a lot of renewables are imported from, I don't know the specific breakdown off the top of my head between China and Taiwan and Korea in terms of solar module exports, but that's where solar panels come from, is different parts of Asia. And so I think that we're heavily dependent on Asia. And if you look at China specifically owning the metals and the mining in parts of the world like Africa, that becomes pretty concerning. The risks that we have in the supply chain there. And so back to my point earlier, is like we should really focus on diversity in the supply chains and the energy sources, just to make sure that we're not someday dependent on China.